This is a quick overview of the free ChatGPT as of August 2025. We've done this before, but it's always changing. So we want to just show you the components. If you go, I don't even know where to start, I don't know what this thing is, make sure if you download the app, which looks quite similar, you get it from Open AI. If you're in our training, we provide the link specifically to get the right one because there's a lot of upsells and other things. And let's go over what we're looking at here. When you open it up, you get a window and the question may change. And this is where you would put in your prompt or your question. And the more specific and more information you provide, as we teach in our course, generally the higher quality content you get. What we're looking at here is where you'll type in your question or content. Then if you click the little plus here, you'll see some other things. Add photos or files. Study and learn. That's extraordinary. That's a brand new one. And really recommend playing with this. It's fantastic that it's available right now at the free level. Create an image generation. Then think longer. Then deep research, and they give you limited ones. Important to note, this is saying I have 4 until September 15th. So they're limited ones of these. You get more in the $20 paid version and more in the $200 and so forth version. Choose this carefully, and also note that you can make the mistake of leaving it in the deep research, and I could eat up by multiple sub-questions, all 4 of these in one conversation. And then under more, where we want specific web research, and then Canvas, which is kind of a work project, and then potentially connecting to some other things. I'm also signed in, which you really need to be so that it will have some memory of what you're doing. And if you were in our basic class where we talk about chain of thought, I think of think longer a little bit like that. And then we can dictate, and it'll ask to have access to your microphone, or we can talk to it. So we're going to start by asking it a question to define the difference between think longer and deep research. Would you explain the difference between think longer in ChatGPT and deep research? Then remember to click the check when you're done, not the X, then the up arrow. The other thing to remember is when you're typing in here, if you hit the return key, generally it will have the effect of the up arrow. So you want to do a shift return if you'd like to create what I call a line feed from the old typewriter days. And then I could stop this and go for a quick answer, but I'm going to let it go. Now, remember, it's going to use up some of the credits here when I do this, potentially. Now I'm going to select the text and have it read to me using Apple's text-to-voice. This is not part of ChatGPT.
Think longer, aka GPT-5 thinking mode, equals lets ChatGPT spend more compute to reason before replying. It stays within the chat, doesn't automatically go browse the web, and is best when you want a sharper answer from the model's own knowledge, analysis, planning, math, coding, drafting.
Okay. Deep research.
Deep research equals an agentic research workflow. It searches the public web in multiple steps, reads sources, and your files connectors if you allow, asks follow-up questions, and returns a structured, cited report. It's built for complex online fact-finding and synthesis.
Okay, when to use each?
When to use which? Use think longer when the task is mostly reasoning or creation, outlining a course, debugging code, planning a funnel, or polishing copy.
Okay. Now, which to use? When to use which?
Use think longer when the task is mostly reasoning or creation, outlining a course, debugging code, planning a funnel, or polishing copy. You'll get a better thought-through answer right in the chat. Use deep research when you need current, sourced information, market landscapes, competitor comparisons, literature scans, or strategy reports with citations and links.
Goal, deep think versus multiple step web research, data sources, the model primarily versus public web, behavior, one chat reply versus a longer research to clarify. And then it, of course, says where you'll find it. So those are those two. And the key to understand is if I then say, all right, summarize this in one sentence, summarize this in one sentence. Now, this is a context window that we're using. Now you see, think longer helps ChatGPT reason more deeply within the chat, while deep research uses multiple step web searches and produces a cited report. So this is a conversation back and forth. And what happens is, as we do it, it is taking what it got before and putting it together with the new question to give us information, and it's using up the context window of this conversation. So there'll be a point where we hit a wall on this, and one way you often will know it is it doesn't make sense, or it takes forever and it doesn't produce something. That's why, especially in the free version, it's good to break it into smaller chunks, because in the paid version, you have a much bigger context window. Now let's create a new chat. So we go over here and click New Chat. And remember, microphone or conversation, and then these guys right here. That would be creating a new chat. And then there's something else over here, and it's called Turn on Temporary Chat. So this is temporary chat. The chat won't appear in history or be used to update memory or be used to train our future models. For safer purposes, a copy's kept for 30 days. Again, remember in our course about safety, we go into that extensively. But this would be, you want extra conversation. Let's say you're using the model for your own business, but you want to act like another business and try something out real quick, but you don't want it to think you've changed businesses. There are all types of reasons for using this, but I just want you to know it's here. Let's ask in the temporary chat window, what is temporary chat? You're starting to get the idea of how you can get ChatGPT to teach you about ChatGPT. I love that. Think of it like incognito mode. That's another option. Then other exciting things here is we also have GPTs available. In the free version, you can't create them. It's sort of like an app, but different. But you can use existing ones, and some are found in search, and someone will provide you. Like I am building out one for my Relationship Marketing Cube booked, and it's still in training, so it's not really publicly available. And the goal is to not make it publicly available, but you can use it from a link. And here's one fun on amateur radio. So if you want to search, I'll put the link below this to try out, ask about my hobby, amateur radio. And the term Elmer is somebody that's usually been in the hobby longer that mentors and helps someone out. So this is one I created. Have fun, try it out. And then there also one Dr. Justin Rose and I have asking about us, which is a whole nother area. But if you go into GPTs, there are a whole bunch of these. Check them out. Of course, always be cautious in giving personal information to anything like this. From there, we have library that's going to show the photos that we created on the left-hand side. And then these are the chats we did. So you can see different chats. Here's where I was like experimenting with prompts and all types of stuff over time. And then this little thing closes the sidebar so you have more room. And then search is like, oh, I did this chat. Where is the chat talking about such and such? So let's see. Search for KI4CFS. So there, some chats where I was asking questions. That's my call sign, and it's bringing these up. So you can search it, which is really cool. Then in the lower left-hand corner, and in this account, this is my training account. So I'm using my nickname as a kid, and open that up. You'll see, of course, they want you to upgrade and spend money, but also settings, important to see, and help. Those who have taken our class, we also have the group where you can get involved in. So let's go into settings and see what's there. So we have some about the theme, the colors, auto detect language, spoken language, the voice. You have several options on this, and it can provide suggestions. I would leave all these at default. Notifications. Do you want to get notifications? Because remember, we talked about you can get some updates on this. And how do you want to get them? This is extraordinary right now that this is available at the free level. Personalization. This can be greatly useful. Again, don't put things in like your social security or anything extremely confidential, but you can also click manage memories in here and you can change them if you want to. Connected apps, it's several quite limited here on the free level. Data control, share links. If you've shared a link from here, you can share a conversation or a link. It will show there. You can archive them. You can delete all your chats, and you can export data. Now here, improve the model for everyone. This is important to know of all the settings. Allow your content to be used to train our model, which makes ChatGPT better. Many of you will probably prefer to turn this off. I'm using this for education, and you can learn more about it. In fact, I'll put the link below so you can read about it and understand it, and then include audio recordings and your videos. If for those of you a little more skittish or concerned, you may want to turn this one off. And this is where the stories of a company where they were using ChatGPT with the development piece, and then the model was upgraded, and then that showed up in the model. Security, log out or any multiple connections, multi-factor authentication. I do that on my paid version, but on this one, I don't, because I want to get into it easily while I'm teaching. And then, an opportunity to upgrade. That's here. And a little bit of personalization. You can add a LinkedIn, Grubhub, a domain, and an X and get updates. Okay, let's do something fun and let's ask it, what does it know about me and Dr. Justin Rose related to AI? I've done this before, but we didn't hand it some special training or anything else. In fact, I invite you to open ChatGPT and ask the same question. What do you know about Martin Brossman and Dr. Justin Rose related to AI? And here's what it's providing. It might be slightly different for you, because it generates, but not too bad. So this completes your introduction. We go deeper in many of our trainings, and we invite you to get on the court and start experimenting with it. You learn by doing. Check out the links below to get access to our other training, and have a fantastic day.